Hey guys, we're back with another. We're back with the next
Okay guys, this is episode 2 of Living with Wario.
Back at it again at RetroAchievements. We left off last episode with 10 points in the Wii Rollout event, and we need 15 to guarantee a bronze medal. I'm of course shooting for the grand prize, but if I walk outside tomorrow to go check the mail and get run over by a semi or something, I want to guarantee I have at least something to show for my efforts. This episode is going to be a little similar to the last one, where we have a sort of variety hour of different games. Some good, some bad, but we're going for the beat on all of them. Starting with one of my most anticipated sets, M&M's Kart Racing. I was so worried that this game wasn't getting a set, because its set release was kept a secret by a chaos magic worshipping sect of the Order of the Events team. It was absent from the initial list of games getting sets for the rollout, but once the actual event had started, lo and behold, M&M's Kart Racing made its grand appearance. Amongst all the random shovelware this console had to offer, this one in particular has gone down in infamy as supposedly one of the worst Wii games ever. So when all those years ago I decided to finally dabble in console emulation, this was one of the first games I tried. And yeah, it was bad then, and is still bad now. I of course never played it for longer than 15 minutes, but those 15 minutes were enough to get me acquainted with the absolutely horrendous game design on display here. We're going to ignore the game's graphics, abnormally long loading times, the limited voice lines.
Look, a nut!
This is all just stuff that happens with these types of games. It's standard. Awkward motion controls that take a while to get used to. It's standard. What isn't standard, and should never be standard, are courses with horrible visibility, props and obstacles that are incredibly easy to get hooked on, and an awkward control scheme where to reverse, you don't hold down the brake button you're shown in the opening loading screen of the game, no, but the B button, which does the same thing as the A button, but lets you reverse when stopped. Something that I didn't find out until I wrote the very script I'm reading this off of right now, 3 weeks after I beat the game. And as if this game just needed a cherry on top of its awkward design, the later levels in the game are just way easier and way more boring than the first levels are. A lot of these courses are longer, but most of them are just giant donuts with wide roads and absolutely no obstacles at all. Well, except the game's own engine. It seems slopes weren't properly considered for the player's physics when they were being written, so driving up a slope is your typical awkward sharp climb up, sometimes slowing you down a bunch if there's a larger one, but going down even a slight angle doesn't make you drive down at an angle. You just fall repeatedly and rapidly, basically tumbling down a freaking 10-degree incline. I thought that on these courses you just slid down the hill, like there's slippery mud and grass in a level earlier, so I figured that the idea is the mountain's kind of muddy and you're losing traction going down it. You gotta aim yourself to stay on the road so you don't miss coins or get yourself stuck on the outside terrain of the bridge. I wonder if you can get across this somehow. But in reality, you're falling every time the ground is just ever so slightly beneath you, so you lose practically all steering control down every single hill. Okay, I've rambled and dwelled on this long enough. Gotta get this over with. All I gotta do for the beat, finish tournament mode on any difficulty, which goes through every course in the game. The CPUs in this game drive so insanely slow that I can get stuck for prolonged periods of time and be perfectly fine. They kind of just take it easy on these later levels. They're kind of easy. Mess around with the game's physics a little bit for the memes, and wait, is he's catching up to me. He's catching up to me. He's trying to pat. What is this feeling inside me? A rush of adrenaline. Yes, challenge. Finally, a worthy challenger. Step forth and face me, M&M. Yes, a fool's errand. You could never hope to escape me, M&M. Kiss my shiny
Unbelievable! McQueen is fading! McQueen is fading! Fading fast!
So apparently some carts, including 2 that you have just unlocked from the get-go, don't ask, have different CC ratings and are just objectively better than the carts before them in every way. The M&M specifically for that race was using the next cart up from the one I was driving, leaving me to grind chocolate coins in arcade mode to unlock the cart and play the entire game again. extending my playtime to about 2 hours. This is so cheap. This feels so insanely cheap. Eminem's Kart Racing isn't the worst game I've ever played. I think I liked the beach track, I guess, but like, I don't know, man, Snail Mail was better. Let's play some more bad games, starting with Sonic the Hedgehog. I was one of those kids growing up hyper-fixated on Sonic, and then as a teenager I thought I'd outgrown him and moved on to more mature, cool, grown-up games. And then Sonic Frontiers dropped and taught me that Sonic is a lot like herpes. You think you've outgrown it until you sit down and get that uncomfortable itch. As an adult, I really just don't care anymore and acknowledge that Sonic the Hedgehog actually has some awesome and really unique platforming gameplay once you get over its learning curve. Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Episode 1, is not one of those games. It's just kind of mid. Now, this game got a lot of flack when it first came out, largely because it's called Sonic 4 and doesn't hold up to the quality of the original trilogy, because this is just supposed to be a generic mobile game done by dimps until Sega yada. You know what? Who cares? Who cares? Every Sonic game got flack back in the 2000s and 2010s. The opinions of the masses don't matter. It's 2026, and you can make a YouTube video claiming that Sonic and the Black Knight is the greatest Sonic game ever made, and not get doxxed by 4chan. No one cares. No one cares. Just play the games. Play the games. Who cares? I don't care. I would rather be playing Sonic and the Black Knight, but that got demoted right before I went to, so here I am. Anyway, Sonic 4 Episode 1 isn't actually that terrible. I beat it once before on a day that I was in like a mental fog one afternoon, just like a vaguely depressive, lazy day, and personally, I think the game is best experienced in that kind of setting. It's completely competent, like I can play this and get entertainment value out of it, but it's not really that interesting. It seems like every single level has to have a new gimmick to it, but that doesn't really give you a chance to expand on these concepts and mechanics other than in the level they're introduced. These levels actually manage to be fairly long for a 2D Sonic title, so I don't feel like the rolling balls or cannons were wasted exactly, just they could have been used more. Then again, if they did end up using more of the gimmicks from the other acts, the game would probably feel a little bit more stale, or be forced to rely more on the fairly normal level design to compensate. It's not bad per se, this isn't Sonic Forces levels of straightforward, but it feels too normal. There's high and low paths, shortcuts, secrets to find, not a lot of downtime, but I still don't feel that engaged playing it. I don't feel as satisfied getting a good speed flow in this game as compared to any other 2D Sonic game. I can't really explain it, but even if I could, this video would end up becoming an hour-long Sonic 4 design breakdown, and I've got places to be. I wish the homing attack wasn't here, that kind of only works in 3D, like, why not use the good old Badnik bouncing for the shortcut? I kind of like using it as a sort of air dash, though. It seems to just progressively give you more and more speed if you use it repeatedly, so it's kind of fun to spam in certain parts of the stages. The final boss of Sonic 4 is also kind of funny to me in that it has an insane difficulty curve. The entire game really isn't that difficult, and if it becomes so, it's incredibly easy to farm lives. See, all the game's bosses start as looking like bosses from previous Sonic games, but then it has a surprise second phase with new and unique gameplay. The final boss is the same way, with the Death Egg robot fight from Sonic 2. But the difference here is that not only does it have double the health, if not more, this thing feels like it goes on forever, but the second phase is just so absolutely difficult and mean. It's incredible. Not to mention its final move is just an insta-kill that's arguably pretty easy to avoid if you know how to deal with it, but you have no clue what you're supposed to do the first couple times it hits you, and it gives you no time to learn. Robotnik isn't messing around anymore. He is going to kill you. Both times I've played this game, the final boss has forced me to lock in for a game I'd otherwise had my brain shut off for the entire time. And I can't lie, I kind of loved that. This might be one of my favorite bosses in the series, and I'm not sure how to feel about that. So yeah, final thoughts, Sonic 4 is just, it's alright. Okay, it's not that bad, it's not really what I reach for when I'm in the mood for a Sonic game, but if I have to play it for achievement points on an event on a website, I'm okay with that, I'll have some fun with it. But why is the music from Mad Gear Zone just like slightly worse in this port versus every other version. Anyway, since I'm on a roll, let's play a slightly better Sonic game, Sonic Colors. If you're even slightly aware of the Sonic Online community, you might know about the incredible switch-up this game did with Sonic Unleashed in the court of public opinion. Growing up, it seemed like everyone loved this game and thought Unleashed was horrible. Now we've done a complete 180 switch, and as happy as I am to see my childhood Sonic game vindicated from the likes of children who order a deluxe cheeseburger and then take all the toppings off of it themselves, including the cheese, Sonic Colors, I don't think deserves all the flack it gets. Like, I get the
Hey, didn't you just say that online opinions don't matter?
That's right, I don't care. Sonic Colors is alright. It's not amazing, but it's not that bad either. It's also pretty short, and it's another game I've beaten before, so it's another game I can knock out in one sitting. I genuinely think if this game had like half the levels it did, that the overall quality would be way better. Instead, each world of the game feels like it has 1 or 2 levels that take things seriously, and then the rest are just gimmicky to varying degrees. You have some that are just layered 2D challenge stages, which can be well done. Then you have stuff like boring quick-stepping section for an entire minute, a stage that relies on a wisp you get later, and secrets you can find by digging with said wisp so the first time you play it it's like 15 seconds long, a stage where the entire gimmick is a moving bouncer that has shortcuts to lower the downtime early on in the level, but the last part is just an auto-scroller. I thought we decided auto-scrollers were bad in Sonic back in 1991. I hate reviewers that complain about gimmicks in Sonic games by saying it's trying to be Mario. But this is the first time I felt in the series that I genuinely think this game is trying to copy the game design of Super Mario Bros. 3. Mario 3, as we all know, is the greatest video game of all time. That's a pretty high bar to reach for, and Sonic Colors just kind of stands on its tippy toes, reaching for the sky, saying, Mummy, I'm flying. No, you're not. Sit down. You're gonna fall over or something. In spite of all my complaining, though, I still think Sonic Colors is just perfectly fine. Not that bad. It's just aggressively mid at times, and when it's not, it's actually a lot of fun. I really enjoy the levels that feel like they're trying to be a full stage. There's some cool design on display here. Sonic's moveset is also really good, and I would love to see another game done with these controls. The game focuses a lot more on platforming than the boost gameplay we're used to by now. I actually found myself running out of boost a lot, which is awesome because there's an air dash in this game too, and it rocks. Yeah, honestly, Sonic Colors is a fun time. Just has some boring parts you gotta power through to get to the tasty bits. So after finishing Sonic Colors, I set my sights on another shovelware game to play. Gotta work my way through this garbage somehow. And after doing some browsing, I settled on Bloons for the WiiWare. I very quickly reconsidered this after I struggled hard for the better part of 10 minutes on level 3 out of 70. This looks and sounds so darn pathetic. But I promise you, I tried. I got past this level, I got farther, and I promise you that if you try this game, if you play the WiiWare port of Console Bloons, you will understand. You would have done the same. There's no words I can use to describe the nightmares hiding in this game. I just can't go on. I can't beat this. Who even made this? Who was paid money to develop this version of what the hell? Okay. Sure. Let me set the stage. It's November 14th, 2025, at exactly 8:47 p.m. You are there, checking the RetroAchievements Discord, conversing about Pokemon or Dragon Quest or whatever you people talk about. And then you check the set claim log channel, and you see it. Snow White and the 7 Clever Boys for the PlayStation 2. And right above it, we wish you a Merry Christmas. It has been 53 days since Wii Set started getting developed for the big rollout, and this one in particular has been chosen at this precise moment. Pingu Pingu, I salute you. Now this is the part where I go in depth about the game design of We Wish You a Merry Christmas and ramble about whatever gameplay experience I had with it, but I think this is one of those titles where the experience needs to speak for itself to be truly understood. They call him the LeBron James of the We Wish You a Merry Christmas, Deck the Halls, Match 3 game. Also, I get to, like, help deliver presents. That's me. I'm on TV. Oh, shit. Oh, I gave that house too. I failed on my first day on the job as a Santa elf. Timmy isn't getting his Pokemon cards, and it's all my fault. Only death can remove the stain upon my honor. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little low on these. I don't know if Yep, sorry, kid. More points if I give you a present to the neighbors. It's called resource management. Sucks to suck. Welcome to the real world. Look at how disappointed he looks in what his son has stooped to. It's really funny that I'm playing this now because it's just more or less what I'm doing later today. Like, this is... what do you mean, no? That's what you wanted. That's what you ordered. Get off of the milk jump! So it's just like any other doodle jump, like, climbing game, but it's really easy to just hit a cluster of presents and fly up and... Oh, no, wait, no! I almost just want to keep going. Like, I've got the achievement. What else is up here? Do you just go into space? And of course, what would the holiday season be without the Christmas octopus? Actually, a pretty niche Orthodox Christian tradition. I'm surprised they included it, but you can't say they aren't committed.
13% power, sir. Climb!
Yeah, you're in space now. You're look at him. Look, dear God, please help me. Okay, now we're just straight up ripping off Elf Bowling. Like this is an actual thing. They actually just stole Elf Bowling. You know, this is pretty well lined up as it is. What if I just what if I just go like that and I don't even need to move? I can just push the button and get a strike. It plays itself. Yes, into the great pit of eternal damnation. Thus is the price of betraying your master, Santa Claus. Look at the bear. He delights in their suffering. He dances to their screams. What do we have in the book? I haven't really looked at this one at all yet. I've just been playing the little... I can write a letter to Santa? And I might get written back. Dear Santa, my name is Carlos Enrique Abarca Lo. I am 37 years old and I live in Girardo, Cundinum. For Christmas, I would like a Panasonic CF20 Toughbook laptop. But of all the things in the world, I would very much like to have some Bosnian Chavapi. But before I forget, I just wanted to tell you, wash your legs. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. There's a surprise guest in my living room. What? Oh, God. That actually scared me a little. We can roast marshmallows. That's actually kind of cool. Do I like... okay. Okay, yeah, there we go. You see, I like mine dark. Burnt to a crisp. So the darkness reflects that of the void of my own being. Pain and the searing heat and crunch remind me of the penance paid for my sins. Sometimes when I turn off the bathroom light, I just stand there in the darkness before I open the door, reflecting off the deep black that envelops me. That preaches its brand of madness to me. Madness in this marshmallow. Tasty. And to all a good night. I planned to play Burger Island right afterwards since it was developed by the same team, but I decided against it since it looks like the campaign costs 99 cents and money's been a little tight lately. Instead, here's another game I was very excited to play through. I finished the original NES Saga but never picked these up, so I'm very interested to see how this will go. Mega Man 9 and Mega Man 10 are both WiiWare releases developed by Inti Creates, who had done the hit series Mega Man Zero. Their job was to continue the original Mega Man saga in the style of the NES games, and man did they do a phenomenal job. The games look and feel like an NES game. If they somehow put flickering or slowdown in this, I would actually be convinced they're running it in some sort of emulator. They even designed a weird box art reminiscent of the weird box art of the original games, and this might be one of my favorite things in gaming. It tickles me so much. The level and enemy design simultaneously feels perfectly fitting with the original series, yet fresh and unique. The stage gimmicks and mini-bosses are also really well designed and a ton of fun, with the exception of Commando Man's level. Screw him and his stage. The Robot Masters are also pretty well done, with some challenging boss fights and pretty cool designs. There are of course some rehashes, like there usually are with these games, such as the 5th Fireman and Iceman, but then there's some unique concepts like Strike Man, a robot baseball pitcher, Hornet Man, a walking beehive, and Galaxy Man. Look at this guy. He's just so goofy, I love him. These games are still really difficult to match with their original saga, and they have their fair share of ups and downs. But I never said I was playing easy games, just short ones. There is a unique shop feature in Mega Man 9 and 10, where you can spend bolts that you loot from the corpses of your enemies to purchase E-tanks and other useful items. So these games can be inherently easier than their predecessors if you just buy max E-tanks and use them every time you're about to die. If you'd rather just play the game without this feature, more akin to Mega Man's 1 through 6, that's a convenient option, making this the perfect example of an accessible difficulty feature. A feature I absolutely abused in Mega Man 10. You see, in 10, big feature of the game is being able to play the main story as either Mega Man or Proto Man, base also being an option through DLC. Proto Man was also in Mega Man 9 as DLC, but his inclusion is a part of the story here. That's the other thing, these games have actual stories that have developments the further you get along. A big thing I like about the classic Mega Man series is how there's actually a really cool and interesting story that's usually just used to set up gameplay that looks like this. There's been so many incredible adaptations of the game's story in manga, cartoons, comics, and even music. So I kind of love that Mega Man 9 and 10 are trying to have a compelling narrative while still keeping the simple yet effective game design. But tangent aside, I picked Proto Man to play as in Mega Man 10 because Proto Man is awesome and cool, and he has an incredible band named after him. In Mega Man 9, it's shown that Mega Man has been out of the game for a little while, an unfortunately very regular occurrence for him. But because of this, he seems to have lost his slide and charge shot abilities. Now, the charge shot I can go without. It's definitely useful, but holding down the attack button whenever there's no robots to shoot just to get a couple hits in on whichever one appears next is just kind of annoying to me. The slide, though, I freaking love the slide, and its absence was very much felt in Mega Man 9. It's been in every game except the first two. I feel naked without it. Proto Man in both Mega Man's 9 and 10 has the lost abilities, possibly implying he's been more active than Mega Man lately, which is interesting to a classic Mega Man nut such as myself. However, all magic comes at a price, and a steep one at that. Proto Man can only have 2 bullets on screen instead of 3. He gets knocked back further upon being damaged, but his third, and actually consequential pitfall, is that he takes double damage. He has half the health Mega Man has. Imagine every time you've died playing Mega Man, and now imagine dying in twice that time. By the time I would finally kick the bucket playing as Mega Man, Proto Man's dead like 6 screens back. To make up for this, they gave him a cool shield that can block projectiles whenever you jump, which was very useful, but not nearly an even trade-off. This absolutely increased my playtime by a ton, and it felt good. See, I've gotten fairly adept at Mega Man since I beat the original saga. Mega Man 9 was a challenge, a good challenge, but I never felt like I was hopelessly struggling against it. I hopelessly struggled against Mega Man 10, and it felt good. It felt nostalgic. It brought me back to playing Mega Man 3 as a wee lad, hopelessly struggling against the likes of Needleman, and it felt good. It felt good then, and it feels good now. It took me 3.5 more hours to beat Mega Man 10, as opposed to 9, but I took on the challenge of beating the game with Proto Man, and I loved every second of it. Actually, no, I was miserable quite often, actually. No, there was many a time I was absolutely miserable. Strike Man's stage is brutal, and Commando Man is complete nonsense. But with all said, and all done, I can say with confidence that I loved Mega Man 10. And Mega Man 9 was also pretty good. I now have 16 points to my name and a bronze medal secured for my profile. I'll continue my great quest for the Grandmaster's badge, but knowing I've gotten so far brings me some comfort. It makes my goals feel more attainable. So far, my selection of games has been seemingly random, and this episode was very fast, I will admit. But from here on out, I'm going to try to do more themed episodes and play games that all kind of have something to do with each other. So if you're willing, keep an eye out for that. Thanks for coming along for the second leg of my journey, and I hope you'll be there for the next. Nice having you around. See you later, and have a good night.